Are you wondering what's better, whole or term life insurance? I'm Chad McMahan with Protect with Insurance. I'm going to do my best to answer your questions. So term and whole life insurance are very different policies. Most people would probably say that term life insurance is better, but not necessarily. It depends on the situation. There's no blanket policy that's always going to be the best. So for most people that are over the age of 65, or even especially 70, a whole life policy is going to be a better bet. And the reason why is that it's going to go forever. It goes until death. You don't need to worry about getting to the point where you are, for example, 86 years old and can no longer get insurance coverage. You don't need to worry about an expiring term. And so these are a big deal. The older you get, the more security you want with your policy. Now, the advantages of term policies are that they're larger coverage policies. So if you're looking for $100,000, $200,000, $1 million policy or more, then term policy might be what you want to look at. But they're much harder to qualify for. You have to be in much better health. Generally, 3 or less prescription medicines. In some cases, no prescription medicines. If you're on one stronger prescription medicine like a gabapentin or something like that, then they're just going to decline you. But there are, for example, you can be on a blood pressure or 2 blood pressure medications, cholesterol medication, very mild anxiety or very mild depression medication would be fine, things like that. Thyroid, a pretty mild thyroid medication. So there are prescription medicines that are okay with term. Whole life insurance is quite a bit easier to get approved for. And you definitely want to sit with an agent that's going to have access to a lot of company options so that you have the best chance possible of getting the lowest price. Since there are so many companies and their prices do vary based on their actuarial tables, you're going to want to just look at a lot of options and shop those out. So just make sure that it's an agent that has lots of access for you. So that being said, again, if you're over the age of about 65, 70, whole life might be the best bet, might not. I have lots of clients that are 70 or low 70s, mid 70s, and we end up doing a term policy, but they get very expensive for those large coverage policies later in life. Now, if you are between the ages of 20 and 50, there's a very good chance you're going to want a term policy. 30-year term policy, larger coverage. If you are between the ages of 20 and 40, probably a return of premium term policy. Possibly up to the age of 50 as well. Sorry about that glare, folks. Possibly up to the ages of 50 as well and return of premium, but the prices do start to go up quite a bit between 40 and 50, but it's worth looking at. Depends on how much coverage you want. So I hope that this has been helpful. The long story short is, best thing you can do is, below. I'll be happy to answer some questions for you. Depending upon your situation, I could make a recommendation for you and tell you what your options are, what the costs are, and then you can decide from there just what you want to do. So this is Chad McMahan again with Protect with Insurance. Hope this has been helpful information about whole life versus term life insurance and which is better. And I look forward to hearing from you. All right, take care.